He sat down. Oh, well. Okay. Hello? Excuse me, we're going to start, okay? I'd like to call the Town Board meeting of February 27, 2024 to order. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who served our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Please make a note of the emergency exits are the door you came in and the doors at the end of the hallway. At this time, I'm going to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person, corporation, or relating to an appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, or removal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What time is it, Marie?
6:02 p.m. And I'm sorry, who second? Was that you?
I'll do it. I got it. It's mine.
That there. Take that and that. There we go. Okie doke. We're ready. Okay. I make a motion to come out of executive session at
7:08.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And get my papers for tonight back out. I'm going to ask our town attorneys to introduce themselves and give a report about what we were in executive session about.
My name is Jeff Scully. I'm special counsel. Thank you. Okay, how's that? I'm Jeff Scully. I'm a special counsel to the law firm of Catania, Mann & Ryder, and the firm is special counsel to the town for labor, HR, and employment matters.
Good evening. My name is Joe McKay. I'm a partner at Catania, Mann & Ryder, and we are a special counsel to the town.
Okay.
Supervisors, should I proceed?
I would love you to. Thank you.
I'm informed that many members of the public are aware that the Town of Beekman Highway Superintendent has filed an HR complaint against the supervisor alleging various harassment and discrimination. The town board hired an outside attorney, not of our law firm or of the Wallace & Wallace firm, which is town attorney, but of the law firm of Jackson & Lewis to investigate that complaint. After an extensive investigation, the special counsel filed a report. That report has been presented to the town board, as well as a summary of the findings of that report have been provided to both the superintendent and the supervisor. The bottom line findings of that report are that none of the highway superintendent's allegations of harassment or discrimination were corroborated or founded or determined to be true or accurate.
Thank you. And could you give us a report on the payroll issues, please?
Certainly. There is currently a payroll issue with Highway Department employees. And by way of background, I first want to state that the town's bookkeeper and account clerk are responsible for preparing and submitting all payments for town payroll. On February 15th, they noted numerous deficiencies in and variations between the time punches and time sheets submitted by or on behalf of town Highway Department employees for the January 28th to February 10th pay period. These deficiencies and variations included, on January 28th, 24, numerous Highway Department employees clocked in but failed or refused to clock out for a weather call-in event. Also on January 28th, one highway employee clocked in at 9:47 a.m. and clocked out at 11:24 a.m., making him the only highway employee to punch in and out on January 28th. These partial punches of highway employees were recorded on the highway superintendent's biometric time clock, not the town's official Paychex time clock. And coincidentally, Paychex is the vendor who supplies and maintains the official town time clock. Now, the highway superintendent's timesheets, which he calls detailed payroll reports, indicated that he deleted all of the January 28, 2024 time punches. Although they were marked as deleted, the detailed payroll report also lists the partial time punches of the highway employees, none of which demonstrate that these employees worked 7.5 hours on January 28, 2024. On the contrary, the time punches of that one employee who punched in and out demonstrates that he appeared to work only 96 minutes on January 28th. Despite this, the highway superintendent represented in his detailed payroll report that all highway employees worked 7.5 hours. The detailed payroll reports covering January 28th to February 2nd pay period submitted by the superintendent reflected an entitlement to 3.5 hours of overtime for each employee. Now, this is certainly possible under the collective bargaining agreement with the Teamsters. However, the failure or refusal of the employees to properly punch in and punch out on the 28th of January, in conjunction with the highway superintendent deleting those partial punches and claiming each employee worked an identical 7.5 hours without providing any contemporaneous backup, prevented the town from verifying the call-in hours that were actually worked. Those detailed payroll reports submitted by the highway superintendent for two employees covering this same pay period were neither signed nor certified by the superintendent, including, of course, any of the hours allegedly worked on the 28th. In response to this, on February 25th, immediately upon receiving an email from the superintendent claiming that overtime had not been paid to certain employees, the town's bookkeeper and account clerk each reviewed their payroll transcriptions and preparations. They each independently confirmed that they had made no errors in those documentations. The town bookkeeper then contacted Paychex, who, remember, is the vendor for the official town time clock, to ask that they confirm in writing that there were no missing time punches for the highway employees for this January 28th to February 10th pay period due to equipment failure. Paychex certified that there had been no errors in that way, but the town also then followed up with Paychex that same day, seeking broader verification of the proper functioning of the town time clock during this pay period. Late in that same day, Paychex got back to the town saying that they had verified that the time clock from the highway department terminal was working properly during this time period. Immediately after receiving that from Paychex, the bookkeeper emailed the superintendent late in the day on February 15th, advising him that the Paychex time clock had been verified as working. The bookkeeper asked the superintendent to explain why the hours he had certified as true varied systematically from the hours recorded by the department employees using the time clock of the town. The accountant also asked him to specify for each department employee how many hours were claimed to be short, the dates on which those hours were allegedly worked, and to provide copies of any backup data the superintendent might have, including from his separate biometric time clock, so they could be establishing that those hours were actually worked. On February 16th, the highway superintendent replied. However, instead of providing the requested backup to verify the hours allegedly worked on the 28th, the superintendent stated, quote, "Well, the biometric clock doesn't lie. So you have the printouts with the call-outs on the sheet submitted. You can deal with the union. The payroll I certified is true and certified." Now, that passage implies that the superintendent's biometric clock verifies the hours he claimed the employees worked on the 28th. Unfortunately, as discussed previously, it just doesn't. On the contrary, the punches for that one employee who did punch in and out, which were deleted then by the superintendent, demonstrate that that employee did not work 7.5 hours. Additionally, this information supports a reasonable inference that the other employees may not have worked such hours. Prior to issuing the next payroll, the highway superintendent then began making factually false statements of a political nature on the official Town of Beekman Highway Department Facebook page. Despite this, the town is still awaiting the requested explanations, backup data, and corrected timesheets from the superintendent. Now, we understand that it may be that the superintendent and the department employees lack this backup. If so, the town is open to those employees claiming to have worked hours for which they were not paid, and for which, I note, they failed or refused to clock in and out as required using the town's time clock, that those employees submit affidavits under penalty of perjury stating the hours that they worked. Of course, the town would need to verify that these statements made after the fact are legally sufficient and can be substituted for contemporaneous time punch records. Under the New York State Constitution, the town may not gratuitously disperse or spend taxpayer money. Paying wages for hours not worked would be such an unconstitutional expenditure. Given the variations and discrepancies I've discussed here, it's impossible to verify that the employees worked the hours claimed in the superintendent's certified, and in the case of 2 employees, uncertified, detailed payroll reports. Further, submitting false or fraudulent time punches and/or detailed payroll records may be criminal conduct, including grand larceny, defrauding the government, and offering a false instrument for filing. Of course, the town is not currently alleging any such misbehavior. However, given the systematic variations and discrepancies in the department's time punches and detailed payroll reports as discussed here, careful investigation is required to ensure that the town does not spend taxpayers' dollars in an unconstitutional and illegal fashion, as well as to protect highway employees and the superintendent from exposure to criminal liability. I now want to address the factual context out of which this issue seems to arise. First, under the CBA with the Teamsters, the town may, at its discretion, institute and use a time clock. The town and the superintendent each several years ago installed separate time clocks. In December of 2023, the town understood the superintendent would require his employees to use either time clock, but only one time clock. Based in part on that understanding, on January 3rd, 2024, the town board passed a resolution requiring all town employees to use the town's paycheck time clock. The town has the legal authority to require the superintendent to use the town's official time clock. Specifically, the board is vested with, quote, the powers and duties relating to the town highway department personnel and is given general management and control of the finances of the town. As such, the board is, quote, empowered to assign additional duties to the superintendent not inconsistent with law so long as these duties do not interfere with, diminish, or impair the superintendent's statutory powers and duties. This may include, and I'm quoting again, imposing certain administrative duties in connection with maintaining work records of highway employees, and that includes the town board may require as an additional duty of the highway superintendent that records be kept of the hours worked by each highway department officer or employee. Despite this clear legal authority, highway employees appear to be the only town employees who are not punching in and out for all hours worked using the official town time clock. This includes emergency call-in hours. Although the superintendent appears to be refusing to require consistent usage of the town time clock or to use it at all for call-in hours, doing so is a best practice. Moreover, as demonstrated by the punches deleted by the superintendent, all reported to the highway garage. All of the employees reported to the highway garage on the 28th. As such, these employees were physically present and able to punch in using the town time clock. Further, punching in during a call-in event is done by the employees of all other area highway departments with minor exception. Moreover, clocking in and out of the official clock is the only way to ensure that wage payments are constitutional expenditures and that employees and the superintendent are not, as I mentioned earlier, exposed to criminal liability. The town hopes that going forward, highway employees will use the official town time clock for all hours, both regular and call-in. Using that clock consistently will help avoid the unnecessary turmoil and confusion caused by the employee's continuing refusal or failure to clock in on the official town time clock. Thank you, Supervisor.
I just wanted to apologize for the late start of the meeting. We learned late in the afternoon, that the attorneys were available for this session, and we thought it was important to do it tonight, so we were able to have them come. Just one other statement that I wanted to clarify, that the independent investigation was requested by the highway superintendent, and that it be conducted by an independent source. We abided by his wishes at great expense to the town, and this was the result. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to run over the agenda items, and then we'll get started. We have two town board minutes. Resolution number 3 is a 2023, the last budget revision. Number 4 is a budget revision 2024-1, just the budget revisions. Number 5 is amending our town's investment policy. We have been invested in New York class, and in 2023, we had gotten somewhere in the ballpark, and I don't have it with me, I apologize, but we'll have it when the auditors confirm everything, when we do our audit for 2023, but somewhere in the ballpark of $85,000 in interest. So that was a really good investment. Resolution number 6 is our egg hunt, and I'm hoping for good weather since it's an early Easter. Number 7 is the bus trips for the seniors, and they look like they're going on some interesting ones. Number 8 is approval to overhaul the transfer case for the highway truck, a repair for B3. And resolution number 9 is acquiring a highway track loader. The town board approved this expense in November for the 2024 budget line for machinery and purchases of $100,000. This is a new purchase. And then our payment of claims is large, as the Okay, so the Beekman Fire District 2024 tax warrant payment was $1,688,220, and that's why that's a little bit high. Okay, so we will go to public comment for agenda items. Mr. Domasic? It's not here? Oh, okay. All right, then we can move on. Person?
Okay. Actually, if you guys talk loud, I can do ambient sound and I can hear it. So just speak loud as normal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorraine Abatantuana has provided copies of the minutes of the February 8, 2024 special town board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas town board members have had the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the February 8, 2024 special Town Board meeting.
I will second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Is that roll call vote?
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon? Aye. And Mr. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas town clerk Lorena Victoria has provided copies of the minutes of the February 13, 2024 town board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas town board members have had the opportunity to review such minutes, said minutes, now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby accepts the minutes of the February 13, 2024 town board meeting.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution number 3, whereas the town of Beekman's accounting office recommends certain budget revisions based on department's request and/or the accounting office review analysis of expenditures and revenues. Now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the town of Beekman Town Board, identified as budget revision 2023 and year-end closing number 2023-13 as follows.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the town of Beekman's accounting office recommends certain budget revisions based on department requests and or the accounting office reviews and analysis of expenditures or revenues, now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the town of Beekman Town Board, identified as budget revision number 2024-1.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas by resolution number 8/11/20-4/121, the town board adopted the town's investment policy, and whereas after review of the policy, it was determined that cash deposits need to be specified throughout the current policy, and the depositories and maximum amounts need to be modified to read: depository M&T Bank, maximum $15 million; depository New York Class, maximum $5 million; all other banks $2 million. And whereas the town board has determined that this is in the best interest of the town to amend the investment policies to include these changes, now therefore be it resolved that the town's investment policy should be amended to include cooperative investment, provided that such investment adequately protects the safety and liquidity of all monies invested and is governed by a written agreement pursuant to Section 42 of the General Municipal Law, and provided that such agreement is approved by the town board, and be it further resolved that the amendment to the investment policy shall take effect immediately.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution number 6, whereas the 2024 egg hunt has been scheduled for March 23rd, 2024, and whereas the funds have been included in the 2024 annual budget to provide entertainment during said event. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into an agreement with 1, just for fun, 3 games, delivery, setup, and damage waiver fee for an amount not to exceed $225, and 2x2 Animal Haven, Inc., for an amount not to exceed $500.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 7, whereas the 2024 budget includes, we have funding for the cost of a variety of bus trips, events for the senior citizens program, and whereas deposits are required for tours, shows, and meals to guarantee the reservations, which deposits are reimbursed to the town through ticket sales. Now therefore be resolved that payment for the charter of the bus for the following trips and or entertainment is hereby authorized.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bellini?
Aye.
Councilman Lehman?
Aye.
Councilman Mormon?
Aye.
Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution number 8, whereas the town of Beekman Highway Superintendent has submitted a request to send the transfer case that submitted a quote from Transaxle to do a basic overhaul in the amount of $8,016.98. That includes a one-year warranty. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman does hereby approve the quote by Transaxle for the overhauls of the transfer case in the amount of $8,016.98. And be it further resolved that the purchase, replacement of the transmission will come out of the highway vehicle repairs budget line.
I'll second.
Town board discussion, hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Cavallari?
Aye.
Councilman Bentley?
Aye.
Councilman Lima?
Aye.
Councilman Warren?
Aye.
Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the highway department is in need of a new skid steer and has received 2 quotes in requesting approval for the purchase, and whereas the highway superintendent has recommended the purchase of the following through Sourcewell contract number 011723, the 2024 John Deere 325G compact track loader, bid number 1T0325 GMT RJ 459755 for a cost of $75,502.10, and 1 John Deere CP24G clay trailer for the cost of $29,682.07, and 1 open market 2024 Felon FT14 trailer for a cost of $14,846.34. And whereas the highway and the financial department are in agreement that the funds of $100,000 will be taken from the DA 5130-0200 machinery and equipment line, with the remaining $20,030.51 to be transferred from the highway fund unassigned fund balance to account DA-51300-0200 machinery and equipment for the balance to be used for the purchase. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby approves the acquisition of the new track loader, equipment, and trailer for the Sourcewell contract number 011723 in an amount not to exceed $120,030.51 with the funding agreement above.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Cavallari?
Aye.
Councilman Bentley?
Aye.
Councilman Lima?
Aye.
Councilman Warren? Aye. Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the bookkeeper has audited approved claims pursuant to section 119 of town law as set forth in the attached abstract, be it resolved that payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $1,733,213.70. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $34,845.41. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $2,090.67. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $1,921.19. Claims to be paid from the T-Trust and Agency Fund, $1,683.50. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $222, for a total of $1,773,976.47. Payroll number 4, page 215, 2024. General Fund, $34,668.68. Highway Fund, $24,567.45, for a total of $59,236.13.
I'll second.
Town board discussion, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Cavallari?
Aye.
Councilman Bentley?
Aye.
Councilman Lima?
Aye.
Councilman Warren?
Aye.
Supervisor Pucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Okay, we have other town board business, Frank?
I do have one. 2024 sponsorship levels and benefits. Relay for Life in Dutchess County, Spring to Life, it's at Town Center Park, 71 Town Center Boulevard, Hopewell Junction, New York, Saturday, April 6th at 10 a.m. If you'd like to learn more, you can contact Danny Mastini. What is it? Pastine. Sorry, it's a little dark in here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my brain too.
You can either contact her at email at recdirector@townofbeekman.usa or call her at 845-227-5783 if you have any questions about what's going on over there.
Okay, Sharon?
Okay, and in conjunction with that, Sunday, March 10th, 2024, they're going to have a luminary bag decoration event at the Beekman Community Center, 31 Rec Center Road, from 11 to 2. The suggested luminary donation amount bands, $10 each. These bags will be provided and they'll be decorated, and at the event at sundown, they're going to put candles in them and light them. It's really a nice event.
This is a really important event. It had been suspended for a couple of years, so it's the first time back, and we're excited. We've not had it in the town before. Usually it's done at Arlington High School, so I encourage everybody to come out and join us. Additionally, our next regular town board meeting is Thursday, March 12th at 6 p.m. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances of the lack of electricity, I'm going to make the decision to suspend public comments tonight in order to end the meeting, since we're still in the dark. So I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Don't get up, we'll come over with the thing. Will you walk them out with this?
Certainly.
Okay,